Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. It's a happy Sunday. It's sunny out. It's the Memorial Holiday weekend. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know about you all, but I got a couple shades of darker being outside in the sun, trying to do some yard work. My old bones felt it a little bit. I was crawling on the ground, pulling up some weeds, pulling some stuff. And don't none of y'all being come up to talk about, Sister Audrey, why was you doing that and didn't call some of us to help you out? I always got yard work. That's part of my heaven is to be in my yard. The only thing I did not do is take off my shoes and walk around outside barefoot. I didn't do that yet. It's coming. It's coming. I started out by doing some weed whacking because it rained yesterday, so I couldn't check the lawnmower out for the neighbor from the neighborhood engagement hub. But I saw somebody that I know that did come and cut my grass, and I was glad he waited till it dried out some. But I did get the weed whacker and had started doing some stuff. When I seen this truck pull up, I threw that weed whacker back in the car and said, "You're going back. I don't have to lift a finger." He came over there and did it, and him and his buddy, they did an excellent job with cutting my grass and getting me back together, weed whacking. I had some trees growing in the backyard in some of them spaces, and he did an excellent job. So I'm just telling you, one of my happiest places, one of my happiest times is being able to be at home, even in my yard. Yes, it's hard work, but it is definitely, uh, um, it's definitely a part of my heaven, my paradise, and that's what I'm gonna talk to you all today about is happiness. But I know do we have the disclaimer run across the bottom, Mickey? We're gonna have Mickey run that disclaimer. You all know that my views are not the views of 810 News Media Group, even though they may personally like it, but as a news media group, we have to put that disclaimer out there because we want to make sure that we are in order and complying. I want to start out by saying, please like, share, and subscribe to 810 News Media Group on YouTube and on Facebook, and ask a friend to tune in. So we want to do that every week. We got to make sure we do that. I was talking to a friend of mine last night. I ran into her in Home Depot. I keep telling you, I keep making these trips to Home Depot. One of my friends this morning told me, "Don't buy another flower," but she don't know. She listening to. I'm going back to get some more flowers now. I ain't gonna stick my tongue out at you, but I am going back to get some more flowers. I call myself going to go pick up one little thing and picked up a lot of other stuff. But anyhow, I ran into my old friend into the Home Depot last night, and we were talking. Um, and I told her that I'm going to send her a text message today so that she can go on to YouTube and tune into 810 because she said she want to come on and see the show, but she also want to see what else we got going on. And I'll just tell you this: I don't know whose platform she's on, watching the city council, but she don't miss city council because she started telling me about some stuff that kind of slipped my mind, and I think my memory is pretty good. And I said, "Yeah, you're right." She told me who it was and when it was. I was like, "Okay." And she sick, kind of had been sick a little bit, but that just go to show you she tuned in. And actually, our conversation started out by me just saying this: if you are interested in helping us with collecting signatures for Liddell Lewis for a recall, get in touch with me. We are out there. We have been putting a small effort toward it. We trying to make sure we get the other recall taken care of first. And then we're going to go into a full-fledged effort with doing Miss Liddell Lewis. And she stopped me because she was concerned about her still being our council person. This is a second ward um, resident, and some of the things that she have seen. More she it's not a personal thing. It's not personal. She said her neighbor told her she's really a nice person. But I'm sure she is. To those, especially that she feel like support her, but when you're not supporting her, mm-mm. And we just know that some of the things she's did is not what we need here in Flint. So it's not personal. It's just we don't like your business ethics and what's going on. But today, I want to talk to you all about, and I want to read something. I want to talk to you all about this little book because I took a trip last week. I was down in Clearwater, Florida, several years ago, and I'll just say this, and because there's some stuff in here that's so important. We were introduced by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the members of the Nation of Islam, to the Church of Scientology, their Dianetic auditing process. I became a Dianetic auditor. I learned some things about the Church of Scientology. I learned one thing for sure: don't believe everything you hear on the media. Go experience it for yourself. Talk to them. Talk to some of the Scientologists. I know some people talked about their own experiences being bad, but guess what? Some of y'all had some bad experiences in the churches, the mosques, and the synagogue. So come on, we all have some bad experiences. But what I experienced, me personally, what I experienced there has helped me in so many different ways, so that you all know what I'm talking about when I say a Dianetic auditor. You're sitting down, you're actually listening to people talk to you about things that is going on. And just know it is in the utmost of privacy. We are bound by a creed that you cannot share what that person has shared with you. You can't even discuss it even after we leave a session. We can't even discuss it with the person who has audited and talked to us. We can't go back, and because it can re-stimulate. And what it is, it helps to burn off some of the energies, the negative energies from things that has happened to you in your past that is affecting you today and holding you captive, holding you as a prisoner and not allowing you to move forward. There's things that happen to us, some of us prenatally, while we were in our mother's womb, that we don't know that that happened. But even going through some of the process, you can go back and touch to some of those things. You'd be surprised at what you can remember, even as a what they say what do they call them, as an embryo, what you can remember, some of the things that your mom may have been going through, her experiences while she was carrying you. They kind of hold us captive, and we don't know that stop us, or traumatic injuries that has happened to us and occurred to us throughout life. But some of those things we definitely need to make sure that we get through those. And we say, oh, I could take myself and get myself through it. Yeah, you probably can. But some things you can't even get yourself into, and being able to release yourself from it. And I know a lot of us say, I like privacy. I don't like to talk and discuss my problems with people, especially strangers and stuff. I'm like that too. I'm private too. However, going through this process has helped me to be a better person. And I still got a long ways to go, but I'm a long ways from where I used to be. And I'm going to read this part in this book, because this book is called The Way to Happiness, a common sense guide to better living. And once I started to reading it, I was like, wow, now this is a little pamphlet that was redone and rewritten by our beloved Sister Naira, and her husband, Brother David, which they have agreed to be a guest one week and talk to us a little bit more about what it is that they do. Because their whole mission in life is they're getting to themselves, they're happy. They want to get us to happiness. And they celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary last week with the renewal of their wedding vows. And it was so beautiful. But when I walked into those buildings, when I say the Church of Scientology, this is in Clearwater, Florida, the hotel we stayed in was owned by them. Several other hotels on that strip was owned by them, businesses and things. Those are the kind of things that we need to start thinking about in our mind that can help bring us to happiness, where we can start owning things for ourselves too. Now, a lot of people say, oh, the church, that's a whole nother cult or religion. Mm-mm. No, it's not. I'm going to tell you why. Because you can bring your own religion with you to the Church of Scientology. They're teaching you a technology to make you a better person. So whether you call yourself a Muslim, a Christian, a Jew, a Buddhist, they have just opened up a new organization, a new building in Paris, France. And while we were there, they had them talking to us. They were talking to us in French. So I ain't know what they were saying, but they had the captions on the screen to let us know. And we were celebrating with them with opening up their own big church in Oregon. I think theirs is now big, but the one in Clearwater was so big. Oh my God. And it was so beautiful walking through that building. When I tell you, when you walk into a room, if you have negative energy and find negative energy around you, how you can say something don't feel right in this room, something about this room, leave it. Don't stay there. But I walked into the room, I walked into the hotel and was like, wow, something just came all over me. It was like I looked around, like, what is it that's here that's making me feel this energy? I felt love. I felt true energy and I felt true love coming into that building. And when I went that night, I started crying. The next day, I cried all day because I can see what I had done to myself. Yes, Sister Audrey strong, and she, people think, they say the strong ones is the ones you never see that they have in pain or what they going through. But we all have some levels of pain that we go through that we have to start to find in our own sense of happiness to get ourselves to a happy place. Let's have some happy times. But since I left there, I came back on that plane, and I tell you, I was smiling. She said, the lady was riding with me in the transportation. She said, you must have had a really good weekend. I said, I had a great weekend. Little stuff that was happening that was irritating me, that would normally make me just spaz out, did not affect me at all. I'm still running full on that high from last week because I keep picking up the book. And even if I read a page a day, I'm going to read that because it's keeping me there. But this book, Sister Naira and them took made this a smaller version of the larger book, which I have committed myself to going on course to learning, because if I can learn this, anybody can learn this. And this little book, I only brought a few of them back, but I am going to reach out to Sister Naira and Brother David and try to get additional copies to give out to the community at will. If anybody wants it, they can get it. But this book, because on the front of it, it says, and Sister Naira, I'm just going to tell you, she is the founder of Repair the Black Family. Let your light shine is what she got on the front of here. Repair the black family is to repair humanity, because we know we are a broken people. We are broken in many ways, not just the black people, because I know some people feel kind of slighted when we say that, but we came through a different course of life than many of our others have come through. Some of us have come through similar courses, but we have to talk about, yes, we're going to talk about it, the transatlantic slave trade and the 400 years of chattel slavery that we have been through. The breaking up of our households, where you got one, two, they have children. The slave master decided to sell the daddy off, and the children never see the father again. That's real. That is a reality. And anybody who have a problem with us saying that, you just got a problem. It shouldn't be a problem with us telling the truth and what's true and actual and factual. We don't want you to think that we're saying anything, slighting you or anything, but we're trying to tell the truth. So we know that it's very necessary for us to repair the black family. I can't tell you what it's like to repair a Hispanic family or because I don't know. Our people didn't go through some of the same traumatic things that the other folks went through. That's, so it's no disrespect there or anything. Just know I can only speak from my perspective. But anyhow, we're gonna get some of these books to you because I want to share some of this, the ways to happiness with you. And then we see what we can't do with getting you a copy of the book. One of the things I'm gonna just tell you, this hotel that we stayed in, I said they even gave us Q-tips and cotton balls. I done stayed in some of the Hyatts in some of the best cities, and I ain't never seen the bathroom set up with containers. It was like feeling like you were almost at home. Like I had a bedroom, a sitting room, beautiful view of the Gulf and the bridge that went across. Oh my God, it was beautiful. And then you all probably seen my video last week that I did while I was out on the beach telling you to tune in because I didn't know what the day was going to bring to us. And we were out there on that beach and it just felt good. And I did not have on a swimsuit, but we do have Muslim swimsuits. And there was some believers who had, or some of the sisters who had on the Muslim swimsuit. But I did put my feet in the water and I felt like instant healing from that water. I'm telling you, it just felt good. In the hotels, at all of our seminars that we had the entire weekend, They had a table set up with all kind of fruit on it and cracker table. You could just go out there and eat at will. There was at one point in time they had to for lunch we could go eat lunch and breakfast in any of the restaurants and stuff. All this was inclusive. I mean, you talking about pot roast and lamb and um I think it was lamb, pot roast and chicken for sure. I don't eat pork, but they did have some pork there. We had potatoes and vegetables, and you just name it. It was just a beautiful feeling. That Friday night, let me tell you, they had a band at the poolside. So don't think the Church of Scientology just be sitting down doing nothing. They had a band, and I'm like, okay. So the whole band, it was a white band, but boy, they tore it up. And let me tell you, on Sunday evening, they said we're gonna give y'all a small concert, and that's something I'm gonna have to get to. His brother Michael, he lives actually in Detroit, but when I lived in Cincinnati, he was there with us, so we did a lot of stuff in Cincinnati. So he was really good, a good young man, good young man. He came out and did his rap, and then after that, that same band came back. They played two songs. But the second song they sung was James Brown. I feel good. I think was it, yeah, I feel good. I think yeah, it was I feel good. Let me tell you. Only thing was missing is they didn't come put the cape on the little young man. But he got out there and started dancing, and he was back and forth across the stage. I had to post a video. When he went down and did the splits, we said, woo! Everybody in the audience had to say woo, because it was so beautiful. But he brought Brother Michael out to actually rap on a part of the song. But I'm gonna just tell you, it was such a beautiful experience. Like I say, I'm still smiling and happy about the experience. It helped me with a couple of trouble spots this week. But I want to read this part out of this book at the beginning and talk about happiness. It says, happiness. True joy and happiness are valuable. If one does not survive, no joy, no happiness are obtainable. This is what got me right here. Trying to survive in a chaotic, dishonest, and generally immoral society is difficult. Any individual or group seeks to obtain from life what pleasure and freedom from pain that they can. I'm not going to read that whole page, but you'll get a chance to read that when you get this book. And I did leave one here for you, Winters, in case if I don't run into you and see you. And Brother Mickey got his. So just letting you know, through this book, it's telling you, like when it says telling you some basic stuff like happiness, take care of yourself, and don't be promiscuous. A lot of us, we got to make sure we're not doing that. Honor and help your parents, seek to live the truth and tell the truth. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with others. Set goals. When you're setting goals, you setting goals and you trying to be there and honor those goals. That means if you make somebody a promise, you go ahead and follow through with it. Don't do nothing illegal and don't kill nobody. That kind of stuff. These are common sense things. You know, support a government designed and run for all the people. We said a whole lot there, didn't we? This is something, I mean, that's really just good. You're safeguarding and taking care of your own personal environment. One of the things that's important for me is that if I make a promise, I try to stick to it. If something happens and I can't hold it, call the person and just let them know what's going on, so that way they not missing and messing up. And we've all had our problems and indiscretions there and everything, but let's just strive hard to do better at what we're doing. Be industrious, remain yourself and allow yourself to be competent and everything. One of the things that stuck out in here was it's telling us about being the use of alcohol and drugs. And it's not saying stop stuff you use it for medicinal reasons or whatever else or whatever your problem, it is that you're trying to help solve, but definitely strive harder to be there. And when this one key thing, and I want to put this book down, is be respectful of the religious beliefs of others. It's so important. I can tell you and be honest with you, I haven't had, not in the face, disrespect of myself and my religion. And I can go into any place and just be. I feel comfortable. There's many churches that I feel comfortable going in, talking to the pastor, working with the pastor, and working with the parishioners at those churches because I'm comfortable where I'm at, and I know they're comfortable where they're at. We don't have to bring up religion, but the best religion that we brought up was that we went out and did what? Did the work that God would want us to do, which is helping people. That's the best religion. So the other things we can get past and we can do, we can get past a lot of those other things. But I did want to say something because we are in a very treacherous time. And some things has happened in the last several weeks that I'm seeing that I'm not liking. Um, I can't say I'm happy, but I'm dealing with that trauma in a different manner. When you go after a person through a traumatic incident that they're having or done had, and you try to hold them captive, really, with where they're at, you take an opportunity on their sadness and their grief, um, make mockery of it. That's not good. That's just not good. But you know what that shows me? That the person that's doing that is very unhappy. Because if they were happy with themselves, even if it's somebody, I've had somebody, I'm gonna be honest with you, I had somebody that wished death on my grandson when my daughter was still carrying him, threatened to come and said, we're gonna make her have a homemade abortion. We're gonna have make her have a miscarriage. And this young lady that was doing it, she actually was pregnant herself. And less than a week later, she had a miscarriage herself. It saddened me. I was mad at first when I heard her making the threats and the things that she was saying concerning my grandson. But instantly, when she had the miscarriage, I said a prayer for her. She was so mad. She said that my family stressed her out to make her have the miscarriage. We didn't stress her out to make her threaten my daughter and try to corral a community to go on Facebook and do that Facebook bullying stuff. But however, she found it in herself because she needed to find a place that she felt like she could lay blame on someone else for her mishap. Not accountability for her own actions, but her own mishap. Be careful of how you pray for a mishap for somebody else because other things happened to some of those other ones in that same group. That was very unfortunate. I was just discussing a little earlier with Brother Mickey about how this gentleman, I won't call him a gentleman, he lived an alternative lifestyle. And I'm not going to talk too bad about him because this young man is no longer with us. However, this young man was so mad at my daughter, and I asked him to please stop because he had made physical threats against my granddaughter, who was not a year old. Like he threatened to rape her and beat the little bee, is what he called her. She was about 9, 10 months old. So I reached out to his family to try to ask for them to help talk to him. Not to, I know you and y'all young folks, y'all do y'all thing. Y'all go ahead, threaten each other, whatever. Facebook thug, and then see each other in public and try to hide because you're scared because you done made all these threats, that kind of stuff. I see that kind of stuff. Or even not only just that, you speak to the person when you see them in public. I'm seeing this from some elders, some older people too. Y'all stop that stuff. But this young man had been doing this stuff for a while. So he's so mad, I asked him to please stop. He was so mad at me. He texted me and asked me or inboxed me on Facebook. I don't know, he might have had my phone, or it might have been a text, and asked me where was my mother buried because he wanted to go urinate on her grave site. I could laugh about it because, hey, it didn't affect me. My mom's dead. That's how I looked at it. And if I let it affect me, I know this is going to give him the energy to thrive. And I'm going to kill his energy. I said, hold on. Let me give you a full description on how to get exactly to her gravesite. I didn't give him the wrong description. I gave him the exact description. Go to the second driveway, make a left, and when you get there, park, go to the right, and her grave is over there. I said, thank you. Please do it. She got flowers out there that need to be watered. He was pissed. That didn't stop him, though. So the next message he sent to me, I ought to go dig the bee up and F her and put her back. I said, please do. My mama ain't had a thrill in some years. I'm sure she would appreciate it. See, you can't get to me like that. You got tell me something tangible. Now, even with my granddaughter, you threatening my granddaughter who could not walk, talk, and defend herself. I let his family know that I'm obligated to protect my granddaughter at all costs. I called in a police report, did that. We did the PPO stuff. We did all of that kind of stuff. And I let his family know because that's serious to me. That's telling me there's something mentally going on wrong with you, mental health. And you're just not happy. That's okay because we run into a lot of people that's not happy, but that's okay. Let me help you get to some form of happiness because we got some tools to help you get to happiness. Why do you desire to see me unhappy? Because you're bitter and unhappy. That's what unhappy people do. Well, let me just tell you, I can only do this and hold it up again. I highly suggest that you all find a way to get to some happiness because even with us, we know that things are not going on right. We'll say in government here in Flint. But we got to stop letting them take us off our rocker because you know what? We disturb their energy. The unhappy and bitter ones are getting disturbed by seeing us not get disturbed. If you want to make somebody really pissed off and mad at you, show them that you unbothered by their actions. Just show them that you're unbothered by their actions. I totally turned a person around that I found out was doing little things to try to set and trigger me. When I got through not letting them bother me, this person was screaming and hollering. I won't even say who it is, but they were screaming and hollering. And somebody said, what's wrong? I said, I just didn't let what they do bother me. That's all I did. I just said, okay, if that's what you're going to do, that's fine. I'm cool with that. Okay, I'm cool with everything they were saying that they weren't going to do. I asked them and told them, they said, well, what do you want me to do? And I told them. They told me they wasn't doing it. I said, okay, this is what I'll do. I said, okay. Even though they was going to delay me in my process, I just said, okay. Because guess what? I'm okay. Because I could go out and do what I said I want you to do. I could do it myself and still be back and won't miss a beat. I just bothered them in their unhappiness to where they stopped talking to me for a while. It's sad. It's really sad. But I'm okay with that too. But an unhappy person, we can't survive. There's no way we can talk about unifying ourselves in the community to get ourselves back on board and we're going at it by not being happy. Find your happy place. I just told you at the beginning, my happy place is in my yard, doing my flowers, walking around. I prefer with no shoes on, but okay, I'm a grown woman. I have to have some shoes on because you don't know what's necessarily out there. I love gardening. I love that kind of stuff. And it just relieves me. My book that I had, and I know if I start to look into some of my old packed away stuffy stuff that I got, I won this book it wasn't a raffle. It was something they were doing, and it was like a raffle, but it was a door prize. I don't think we had to pay anything to enter into it because I don't do those. But um, I won a book that was called Tea Time with God. And in this book, there's one particular, it had a lot of different affirmations in it. And on this one page, it was talking about the family that every time they got upset with each other, instead of fussing or cursing at each other or fighting or anything like that, they went out into their garden and pulled weeds. The pulling of the weeds helped them to release some of the stress. You know, activities When you're busy and active, it releases natural endorphins, which are painkillers, and it releases a lot of the stuff that's in you that make you so sad. It helps to make you kind of lighten up the load. It really does, you know. But they had the most beautifulest garden in the community because they would be angry with each other, and instead of fitting that, they would do what? They would go and pull weeds out the garden. So I took that, and I got that book. I'm gonna just tell you how long ago I got that book back in the late '90s, early 2000s. So back a long time ago, I used to live at the corner of Philadelphia and DuPont. The house is no longer there, but I had flowers, and so I used to have to be to work at Hurley Hospital at 8 o'clock in the morning. But a lot of times, especially in the summer, I'd be outside between 6 and 6:30, pulling a few weeds out the yard because we busy, we get busy, we don't have time. Pull a few weeds. I might do this part of the bed, that part of the bed, let the next day, and then guess what? By the time I had all of the beautiful flowers, my flower beds, I had tulips, I had all kinds of stuff. I had the beautiful irises and everything in my yard, and it just released me. Every year, Mother's Day weekend, we always planted my mother's flower garden. That's what we did for her. That was a part of her Mother's Day gift. But we all was at her house anyway. We buying flowers, we putting flowers in the yard. So I kind of kept that tradition going Mother's Day weekend. I don't care about going out to dinner. I'll go out to dinner if you ask me or something like that. But I prefer to be at home in my garden. I'm good. Fix me a. I'm just gonna say this. Don't get mad at me for saying this because I'm hype. I'm exaggerating. Fix me a bologna sandwich or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I'm good. And I'm going back in my garden. That's where I want to be. I'm just kidding about that. But I'm just saying I would eat very light. I don't care. I could eat a quick meal. It doesn't matter to me. I that's what I like to do. That makes me happy. I love seeing people happy and having fun. Just let's just have some fun because it lightning and laughing and things help to release those pains in your body, help to release the natural endorphins. Find a way to laugh and enjoy life a little bit. Gotta live sometimes in the moment, but you also gotta plan for the future. Okay. So I just want to say that part. Plan, live in the moment, but plan for the future. But those are the kind of things we have to learn how to do to get us to happiness. And I know when I get Sister Naira and Brother David on here, he's kind of quiet, a little quieter than her, but I heard him speak. I'm like, okay, all right. Look at it, because I'm on that conference call. Just so you know, she's my leadership coach and my life coach because she's been doing some things that help me to see. It's been a couple times I've been on the calls with them and I'm crying. She don't know I'm crying, but I'm crying because I'm releasing the pain that I done been in or that I'm going through. Um, and that don't mean Sis Audrey don't get mad and get angry. That don't mean that. It's just that I'm trying to learn better ways of going through with getting myself and keeping myself in happiness. So I just want to say that to you all because I couldn't let a week go, of course, without saying something. Hopefully, I'll have my guests, a couple of things happen with a couple of guests that I have potential guests, but next week we're going to have hopefully somebody on here start to talk and we going into our summer activities. We got a lot of stuff going on. And I'm just gonna tell you, I know Juneteenth is June the 19th, but I think they doing something different this year. I think they trying to make the whole month Juneteenth because they started on June the 1st and they going to the 19th, and then they don't stop. The festivities don't stop even there because there's other stuff. So we're gonna be bringing on some guests that's gonna be talking about some of that. We just got to get some things going on. But like I say, some of the most important things that's going on right now is if you're in support of the recalls. Some people say they don't like to support recalls, and I understand that. And it's not because they in agreement with the person that's being recalled. It's just that they don't like that process and what it does. They just don't like it. But just know that we are doing them. You can feel free to reach out to us. And please do, please reach out to us and let us know what it is we can do to help you. We got a lot of things going on. We got to get ready. We got an election on August the 6th, and I think the other election is August the 6th, and then the one that's coming up in November. But we got a lot of changes that's going to be made. I think I already said, Congratulations to Mr. Jonathan Jarrett. And I missed the meeting, but I've been trying to watch a little bit of it. I heard he stand on business, stood on business, and all of that. And I'm going to just tell you, I'm going to have to take a page out the book of Jarrett. Because I'm going to tell you, sometimes I'll go and I'll sit maybe a meeting or two because I'm trying to feel my way in, especially when I got on the library board. I was trying to feel my way in and like, okay, where do I fit in this diaspora of people here? What's going on? And I didn't say too much. And so I understand that perspective from a person. But my understanding is the whole meeting, he came out on business. That meeting. Mickey look and say, oh, he came out on business, and it wasn't because he was against anybody or yay or nay. It was just that he wanted some questions answered. And he knew that that was the stuff that the people needed. Not necessarily that people called him and said that. Now I'm praying that whoever else we get and keeping those positions in August and in November's elections, that they come in with being on business and asking relevant, tangible questions. Because that's what we need. We need it. And I have to say, I have to take a page out the book of Jarrett because I have to be more assertive. I was talking to about someone who I'll just say her name. We was talking about Sister Ava Muhammad. If you've never seen her speak, go to her videos. She was the national spokesperson for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. She was, I think, the only one. I may be wrong, and if I'm wrong, please somebody let me know. But I think she was the only one in the nation who could go and speak on his behalf without going to him and saying, Brother Minister, can I go and say this? She knew what to say and what to do. She's the only one. The rest of them, they kind of consult with him and they come and say it. They mind aligns up, and he said, okay. He groomed them. He helped to counsel them. But Sister Ava was just that national spokesperson. If y'all know the role of a spokesperson, my goodness. And it's been almost 2 years. But she said to me back in 2018, right after the Aretha Franklin's we had Holy Day of Atonement in Detroit. It was right after Aretha Franklin's death, and we was at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater. She got ready to walk out the hotel, and she looked at me. She said, I need to come to Flint. And I said, yes, ma'am. She was very sympathetic with us with the water. She had her own podcast called Elevated Places that she had invited me on a couple of times to talk about what was going on here in Flint with the water. Some of the things, when I met her in person, talked to her for a little bit. But I told the young lady, the lady that I had met in the store last night, we talked about Sister Ava. And I said, the one regret that I have is that I wasn't more assertive and more aggressive with getting the means of getting her to Flint and making sure that we had her covered to come to Flint. Like the assertiveness, like asking people that I know that had money to help assist with getting her here. That's what I mean about the assertiveness. I talked about her, but I don't like to ask people for money. That's something I don't like to do. I'm learning how to ask people for money now and ask them, like when I ask y'all, hit that cash app, $810 News Media Group, get some of those donations to 18. But I'm learning how to do that in a different manner. Or, because I just don't like to ask. I would just say, forget it, I'll just give you the money. You asking me to go find a way to get $100? Here, I'll just give it to you. Because I don't like to ask, but I'm learning how to do it, and that it's okay to ask. It's okay to ask people. People ask me all the time, but I can't ask nobody. That's a problem. So now I'm learning how to be more assertive with it. So I wanted to say that I just want us to close out today with find something good to do for yourself. Find what it is you like. If it's nothing but where they're painting, and don't say you can't paint. Because if you could pick up a paintbrush and dip it in paint, you can paint. That's all you need to be able to do. Your own expression of what you like on the canvas is you. Don't say I can't paint because you can't paint a picture or a portrait or a flower. It's boom, you got a masterpiece. I see people do it, and you'll be like, that y'all pay what for that? Okay. So just go find something for yourself to do. Get a mani, get a pedi, do something. Both men and women. Find something that you like to do. Whatever is your knack, do it. Do it to the best of your ability. And find yourself your path to happiness. So now I got to go through my stuff because I'm going to close this out. I'm doing good today, Nikki. Hey, I'm not doing that whole long time today. Come visit us. Come visit us. Come visit us at the mosque. 1417 Stevenson Avenue, corner Stevenson and DuPont. Visit us on Sundays from 11 to 1 o'clock, 11 in the morning to 1. Wednesdays and Fridays, come and do the study groups that we have from 7:30 to 9, self-improvement. I'm telling you, it's 20-something study guides, but we constantly going through the study guides and repeating and recycling. But if you can get a hold of the 20 study guides and start to doing some self-study, please do it. We also have the men's class on Mondays. You can come. They'll let you know the time. It's in the evening time, about 6:30, 7 o'clock they start or something like that. And on Saturdays, we go to Detroit at 9 o'clock in the morning for MGT class, for the sisters class. Those classes are just to help get you oriented to what we are about in Islam. It's not an obligation to join, though we would love for you to join us, but we want you to come out and visit and do that. I have to also tell you, go onto NOI.org. That's where you can see a lot of the live lectures from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and the weekly lectures that does occur on Sundays from 11 to 1 also. Sometimes you come to the mosque here, our study group here, and you'll see we're doing the same thing. Visit the finalcall.store. That's /store, so that you can order books and things of the Nation of Islam. Now we're going to run down this list of what we do through the week at 810 News Media Group. You already know every Monday through Friday we have from 9 to 11. We have the bump with our greatest producer in the world, Mickey Jordan, and the beautiful Miss Winston Hall. Please join us every day. I can guarantee you won't be disappointed. We also have on Wednesdays at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Is it Trevor at 12? 1 o'clock.
12.
Solutions from Clack and Trevor at 12. We have on Thursdays, we have at 6 p.m. the Winters Hall Show. She gonna bring you a new guest. You already know. I gotta say it. Sometimes them guests slip in at the last minute. Winters, I don't know how you pull it off, but you keep pulling it off. Keep doing it. Then you have on Friday, that's Jump Day. All day, Jump Day. 810 News Media Group, Jump Day. Guess what? You got 9 to 11. You got the bump. 1 o'clock. Is it 1? 12. That's Trevor Rants. Then you come back around, you got at 5 o'clock, you got Carolyn Clack. That's the community conversation. Immediately following that, you got Winters Hall and Anna. Anna's in town this week with us. Got a chance to visit her. I'll tell you about that in a second. So you got them with Sister Circle. We got Ashley Rich at 8 o'clock. She bringing you the news from Hollywood, letting us know and keeping up on what's going on out there and keeping us up on the entertainment world. Saturday morning, 10 o'clock, you got Tanya Burns. No, 6th Ward Councilwoman Tanya Burns. She bringing you the news that you need to know from our city and what's going on there and keeping us up. And then once again on Sundays at 5 p.m., you got me with 810 Flint Unite. Gonna bring you the news. And I have to just say this. It's been a pleasure with Anna being in town. We went out to eat yesterday morning. And we went and I was taking her over to Rosemaro's so she can visit over there because she's trying to visit and hit up a whole lot of spots. And as we was riding, we hit the corner of DuPont and Mott. And I stopped at the stop sign, looked to my left, and what did I see? What is it? I can't remember the neighborhood association, Meadows, but anyway, at the bottom of the sign, it has in memory of Councilman Eric B. Mays. Me and Anna stopped. We got out and took us a few pictures and just looked at it, and it's beautiful. It brings a lot of light. You all are doing such a great job over there. It brought a lot of light. Got a chance to hear the vision of from Rosemary, what the vision of that corner is going to look like and what the work they want to do over there. And it's going to be beautiful when it get completed, but it is beautiful right now. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to 810 News Media Group. Please hit that Cash App and give us those donations. Until next week, do something good for yourself. I love you.